Welcome to Chit and Chat, the encouraging one another podcast, a place where real conversations meet real hope. This is the show for anyone who's ever walked through a tough season, faced a hard chapter, or even needed a reminder that they are not alone. Here we share uplifting, encouraging conversations and have some fun along the way as they meet people from all walks of life and different journeys they're facing, or been through, or gone through. This podcast is built on one simple truth. Everyone has a story, and your story matters. Whether it's a struggle of faith, resilience, hope, healing, or growth, it has the power to encourage someone who is walking, could be walking, to a similar road right now. At Chit and Chat, I believe even in difficult seasons, hope can rise, that inspiration can be found in honesty, and that encouragement has the power to change a moment, even if for a second. So, wherever you're listening or watching, know this: you are seen, you are valued, and you matter. This is Chit and Chat, the encouraging one another podcast, where it's always about encouraging someone somewhere. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chit and Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. So glad you're back. This is episode number 4 of the 2026 season overall. This is episode number 151. It is crazy how time is flying by. So welcome to Chit and Chat, where stories matter. Today's episode is a special one. I'm sitting down with a dear friend of mine, an incredible musician and composer, Mr. Raymond Hayden. The way I got introduced to Raymond was I had his wife on the podcast, Jessica Linwiddie, back in episode 39, so a long time ago. Go back and check it out. And we've connected over the years. He's been on the show 3 times, episode 44, 114, and he was a co-host on episode 149 where we interviewed Joel Gibson Jr. That was so much fun. It was really getting fun having someone to banter with, and so check it out. That was a lot of fun. And so I reached out to him again today to have him on the show to catch up. He has been in the music industry, get this out, for 40 years. From vinyl 8-tracks to smoky venues to digital platforms, and the changing of technology. Now AI is part of the music industry now. It's pretty crazy. But today's conversation isn't just about music. It's about creativity and staying true to who you are when everything around you is changing, and it's constantly changing. So I can't wait for this interview with him. Also, toward the end of the show, I'm featuring a song by Cory M. Coons. Cory is a singer-songwriter from Canada. We'll be introducing that song toward the end, so be sure you stay around. So be sure you grab your cup of coffee, which I have, a cup of Joe, espresso, whatever suits your fancy, and join us for a great time today. That's Chit and Chat with my good friend, Raymond Hayden. Are you getting hungry? Head on down to Tequiza and Tequiza Street in Silverdale, where they have 6 kinds of tacos waiting for you. Perhaps get your order to go and take it home. Maybe buy lunch for someone. And come on down and try our great tasting flavors. Chimichangas, grilled jalapenos, and much, much more. And buy a gift card for that special someone. Get a platter for the whole family and have some great tasting authentic Mexican food and street fries as well. That's Tequiza and Tequiza Street in Silverdale. Great tasting authentic Mexican food made fresh. Craving something sweet and fresh and downright unforgettable? Swing by Lone Star Donuts, where every donut is made hot, handcrafted, and packed with Texas-sized flavor from over 50 flavors. From classic glaze to bold new creations, there's perfect bite waiting for you at Lone Star Donuts. Welcome back, Mr. Raymond Hayden. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing really good. And I apologize. For some reason, I've got the coughs, but yeah, I'm doing great, man. I mean, the world's in got a lot of craziness going on in it, and people are arguing both sides of everything, and I'm just trying to work hard and love my family and my friends and play some music.
Do you remember the last time you were on the show? A little trivia, a little back chat trivia.
I do remember the last time I was on the show, but you're gonna have to. It's been a little bit.
You co-hosted with me.
Oh yeah. That's right.
And who we talk with?
Okay, let me think about this.
I'll say fish on. What do you think about? I'll say fish on.
I know who it was. It was a country artist, Joe Gibson. Fish on. Oh yeah, Fish on was.
Don't forget Junior, Joe Gibson Jr. That's right.
I don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, Joe Gibson Jr. Yeah, him and Brittany are amazing, and sounds like some super mysterious stuff going on in Nashville. But good for him, because there's not a lot of that still happens. So and hardworking team right there.
I'm working on getting him on the show probably in a few months. I try to do a couple of shows every 2 weeks. Give me time to prep and edit, and so I'm back at it. I got some great guys behind the scenes doing some editing for me, and they love the content we've created. And so Paul Racey and his son Keegan Racey are doing a great job behind the scenes to help me out. So nice. They got to put a little boot in my butt to get me going on this podcast again. So I'm back.
It's work, and there's a lot of people out there doing it, and you're doing it in a great way, man. I see your posts all the time. For those of you who are just tuning in, maybe for the first time, or people who have tuned in before, make sure you reach out, like Jody's, all his pages. I mean, almost every day it seems like you're putting out some sort of a positive affirmation, whether it's just being a guy or spiritual or whatever. So yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, try to just make the world a better. Let's try and make the world a little better place. You know, a laugh, a smile, Bible verse, however I can help somebody out. And you and I met when I had your wife on, Jessica Linwoody, back a long time ago, episode 39. We chatted a while, and she brought up your name. It's really how we connected over the years. So you've been on 3 shows actually. I did tribute shows for you, and you had you on personally, and you hosted, so you are very familiar with Chit and Chat.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm happy you're doing your thing and still at it. I mean, I know, hey, it's a challenge when you're in entertainment.
And we do some icebreaker questions, so I'm going to throw a few at you, and we'll see where this goes. Is there a favorite song you love listening to? Maybe you're in the kitchen cooking with Jessica. It's like, Alexa, play blank. What's your go-to song? You're like, I need a little jam, a little vibe, and love to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I can answer that question not direct exactly to a song, but there's 2 things that like when I'm in the kitchen, because Jess does all the cooking and I do all the cleaning, and whenever I'm cleaning, like she's in Denmark right now visiting her family and all that stuff. So when I'm cooking or cleaning, I ask Siri to play 80s music. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's play 80s plays. So there's not one particular song. I mean, there really isn't. It's a vibe. There's a vibe that the 80s give out that is carefree and whatever. And although you didn't ask this, I will tell you the other thing that when I don't choose 80s vibe, I choose Jim Gaffigan comedy.
Oh, okay. You get a little laughter throughout the evening.
Yep, absolutely. So those are my vibes when I just need to, yeah.
I'm a little bit of everything. I like Hollow Coves. I like this group called Haven, a guy, and I do an orchestra. I love that. But nice. If I want to dance with the wife, we'll slow dance. I say, fly me to the moon. We'll slow dance in the kitchen.
Fly me to the moon. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, definitely.
So yeah, that's one of my vibes.
That's cool.
Some of our conversation today about the music industry. But what's one of your favorite music eras that you love? That was it the 80s or still? You say with that one?
Okay. The 80s. That's when I got my start playing keyboards over stationed in the United States Army over in Mannheim, Germany, West Germany at the time. And it's a whole nother story, but I met a gal who introduced me to a guy who was a rock guitar player. And we went down and I pulled out a trumpet because that's what I did. And he played Van Halen type guitar and it didn't quite work. And found the Polaroid picture, said screw it, went to the bank, got a loan, bought a keyboard, became a keyboard player, and that was in 1986. And of course, right in the heart of all the rock, the new wave, the synth, the pop, all that. The 80s. I mean, I love 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, some into the 2000s, whatever. But definitely the 80s, hands down, all the way around.
And if your music career was based on a movie, what would your movie title be?
John Wick. Oh, you want me to make up a movie title?
Nice.
Raymond
Hayden.
I didn't even choose a movie because what would the movie title be? Okay, probably something that I would probably derive indirectly from the movie Soul. You know, that Pixar, I think it's a Pixar movie, but
yeah.
I would say probably, yeah, that's not what I expected.
Next one is what's something about the music industry people think they understand but really don't?
Oh, wow, everything.
Pretty deep.
That's a great question, because I want to respect my fellow artists and all the people involved, from the engineers to the mic handlers to the producers to the mastering, mixing. Everybody. There is so much that people don't understand. And when I mean actually some musicians and artists, they don't. Even veterans, they find out and they get really hurt because people aren't listening to what they're doing. But like anything else, it's the music business.
Okay.
And so the business part is not really understood a lot. I mean, so many people use Spotify, and it's here, the door is not going to close, right? Kind of like AI. But what artists actually make versus what the time and effort and money they put into it is not like other businesses. Like if you own a coffee shop, same thing, right? There's a lot of things people don't know, like, the roaster breaking down or employees or you name it. There's a lot of stuff, but you get beyond some of that stuff. You get some good employees working, going good, getting hours, getting the name out of the coffee shop, and people know what you're doing, and you're making good product on a consistent basis, and you're adding new things and you're changing things up, maybe bring some music and do whatever. People are going to come in and you're eventually going to make money. And some coffee shop, obviously we're in the Northwest, can make really good money, and some don't. It depends on a lot of things. Well, it's the same thing with the music industry. Artists, what it costs to the gear, the upkeep, all the promotion, and now you're promoting, and you see a lot of bands, not just one or two. So I'm not going to mention any names, but there's so much that is just not. I don't know any other way to say it, but it's not real. You see some bands who come out. They have a song, that comes out, and a week later, they're showing that they've got 500,000 streams on Spotify. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they've got 1 million. Now, is that band good? Oh God, yeah, and some of them are great. But how that happens is playlist bookers behind the scenes. You pay money, and you get, fake, real playlists, whatever, and then you go to those people's social medias, and you see like 15, 16, 17. On a good day, maybe 20 people engaging with them, because it's not real. And if it was real, there'd be a whole lot of artists with a lot of money, and so a lot of times, because let's go back to the question you said, what people don't know about the music industry is what happens on the business side. And the thing is, because it's the game, you have to be involved in all these different aspects to get people out to see what you're doing. In the meantime, the consumers are getting all this for free. And it is what it is. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is what it is. So it's harder now than it ever has been for artists to make a living.
Right.
And some of the artists that I know, and there's only really a handful that I know that are doing it the way that I feel is the right way.
You say genuine?
That's what I was going to say, is genuine. And genuine meaning doesn't mean you don't pay money to have promotion and get things boosted and things like that. But what your reach should be is what your reach is, and some of the most talented and successful artists that I know, there's a handful of them that both Jessica and I know are making good livings. And a couple of them are into the six figures. But they're working 7 days a week. And when you talk to them, when they're not on social media, they are beyond exhausted.
Yeah.
And up and down with the mental aspect of it, because, like with me, I mean, my job is very taxing, but it's 5 days a week.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's what people don't understand is the business part of it, and they don't need to, right? They're consumers. Why would they care?
Right.
But it's just the artists. It's really a struggle. Before, it was a struggle to get paid attention to by the big guys, and now it's the same. And it's hard to get paid attention to by the consumers because, 6 months ago, if you did the research, 100,000 songs a day would be uploaded to the internet. And now it's far heavier because of AI. So, business.
So you've been around in the music industry. I think you're over 40 years or close to 40 years.
Over 40.
So you've seen, in my little monologue I did for you, from vinyl, I'm sure 8-tracks, cassettes, digital, the whole, AI. So, and I think the vinyl came out in like 1948. So that's like 50 years where the music industry has done a total 180 on how people are getting their music these days.
Oh yeah, it's huge. When I was a kid, I had vinyl records and 8-track tapes and then cassette tapes. Even had a boombox. I was cool. I don't think I've ever been cool, but so cassette tapes, and the cassette tapes for the longest time, and vinyl, of course. And then in the late 80s, early 90s, whatever, then when the MP3 came out, then everything started changing. But it's coming full circle, right? The vinyl's been cool again. Yep. And even cassette tapes, 5 years ago, cassette tapes made a resurgence back into the scene.
Was there ever a moment in your career or like in music where you like, I'm done, but you thought about it and I still have a heart for music. I still have a heart for mentoring people. Was there ever a moment where you like almost were done? Was this the politics and the scope of craziness behind the scenes, I guess?
Yep. Right now. See ya. Gotcha. Editing magic, or not editing, but oh yeah, absolutely.
Drama. That was drama. We need music right there. Drama.
We need music. Dun dun dun. Yes. And I'll answer it simply. There's been about 3 or 4 times in my life, and I'll elaborate on the first time. Been working really hard. Had a 7-piece band, a band called Nevis. And, we had, it was Eric Montgomery on drums. It was Carrie Weller on female backing vocals, Dave Sawyer, good buddy of mine on guitar. And who else? Oh, we had Chad, Mike, and Kelly, the horn section, and just so much fun. And bass players kind of came in. We had a guy named Ernie and a guy named Steve, and it kind of moved around. But anyway, that band, we were playing a lot of the places, playing almost every weekend in Seattle or Tacoma. Things were going great. And then the girlfriend of the drummer pulled him away from that project, and some other things that happened at the time because the sheer amount of work, because back then it wasn't social media, it was going out all the time and putting posters on telephone poles. Mm-hmm. And it just was it was a lot of work, and we were starting to really get a little bit of traction during the grunge movement, and we're a horn band. And it knocked me off my rocker, and I just was like, okay, you put all this work into this, and then someone just like that takes it away from you. And I was, and I was young, so I was being emotional. I wouldn't do that now, but I just was. I packed all my stuff when the band broke up. I packed all my stuff up, all my keyboards and boxes and whatever, and I had one keyboard left out. And I sat down and put the headphones on and started playing. and wrote the first song, and I called it. It's not the greatest title, but it's called Music Is the Only Thing, and it led to a ton of other. It just the door just opened up, and I started writing all the music for my first solo album, which was called Doorway to Your Tears. So that quitting ultimately inspired me to write an album, and then other times just thoughts, because it's so difficult, it's so difficult, but I can't get away from it. I mean, if it's in your blood, it's in your blood. So I mean, I'll do it till I die.
If you ask people what success means to them, you're gonna get a variety of answers. What has success mean to you in the music industry, and the many bands you've formed and people you've mentored and collaborated with? What's that mean to you?
Yeah, you just described it. There was a time when I was younger, of course, when you're younger, you're thinking differently. I mean, when I'm living in Germany, I'm 19, 20 years old, playing in a band with some really good, like a Juilliard graduated guitar player. Everyone in this band was just great. And I was the guy starting most of the songs, and then they'd finish them and we'd collaborate. And for me, it was about being a rock star and wearing ripped pants and getting the girls and all that, though, and everything. I'd grown up in the church growing up, so I'd been sheltered by a lot of stuff. And over the years, it changed. And during COVID is when the biggest change happened, because I actually took coaching and started really valuing myself. And I thought I'd wasted a lot of time, because I've had 3 different podcasts of my own. So I've done, I don't know, 300 different interviews with, independent guys, rock stars. I had a record label for 10 years. I have mentored, I've been mentored, still am mentoring, collaborated, all this stuff. So I thought what originally started out as success being, being a rock star, getting the girls, then turned into making a living at it, which I did to a degree at some points. And then I just realized, because I was doing so many things, I thought, well, if I had not done the record label and I had not done the podcast, I would be so much of a better keyboard player. And maybe that's true. But that realization showed me that success for me was completing my why, which is to make a difference. Mm. And when I realized that that's what it was, and I realized that I've been successful since the beginning, and even more so now, because that's truly what's important. Not just the music, but make a difference. I mean, you've made a difference in my life. You're having me on here again. That means I've done something that made you think, okay, this guy's worth talking to. So, success.
The current state of music industry is kind of wonky, with AI now helping people writing music, creating voices, mimicking artists. Is there anything in there that excites you or concerns you about the change in the music industry?
Yes. The thing is okay, first of all, what scares me or excites me, right?
Yeah, it's with what the change you either excites you or concerns you about it.
Concerns me. Let's go with that. Let's start with that one first, because thank God I have my wife is always so good about reminding me that the power of words is it shapes our perspective, and it shapes our how we look at everything, and how and you can have a smile on your face and say, oh, everything's great, and in your head going, screw AI. Well, or screw MP3s, or screw tapes, or you know what I mean? It just on and on and on. So for me, and my mentors have taught me this as well. Before you put out, oh, I hate this and I hate this and I hate that. And hey, if you do that, hey, that's your life, do your thing. Find out about it. Dig into it. So what concerns me, the only thing that really concerns me is that something that I've worked at, and a lot of artists work their whole entire lives, scales, chords, music theory, the hours it takes to, and I will not say master, but to learn an instrument and get better and whatever, the tens and tens of thousands of hours. AI comes along, and for people who are, and I've seen it, I've watched it, who are 19, 16, 20, putting out music and you go on to some of these different apps. Because I finally, about a month ago, finally said, I'm going to get Suno and I'm going to find out what it's all about. I'm not going to put out music with it, but I want to experiment. I want to see what people are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it concerns me how easy it is. And so I started doing research with a lot of the artists on Suno, and a lot of the ones who are getting 400,000 likes and this and that. And this is being I guess I can't say I'm unbiased, but as unbiased as I can be, when I listen to them, is the production good? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But they're terrible. A lot of them are terrible. Anime. It's a lot of times when gals are singing, it sounds like anime characters. Some of the structure, over some of the stuff is so overly produced. People gave Nickelback crap for that. This is over the top of that, and it just concerns me because there's the thing that ultimately concerns me is the fact that there's so many people out there who think it's okay, think it's good, and are they wrong? No. If someone listens to something, they like it. So that concerns me, is because true artistry is not just playing a music instrument, but it's actually caring about everything that's going on and people who are involved with it and making a difference with melody, lyrics, and production and presentation. What excites me is it's a new tool. Okay. So I'm not going to use it to put out songs, but I thought to myself, if I'm being honest, I thought to myself, okay, I am going to dig deep into this and I'm going to learn. First thing I learned, it's not going to replace artists. Not now, it's not. Because some people say they can hear a hum or they can hear something. I don't hear that, but I don't feel the same. I've listened to something, went to a different style, listened to it. I mean, a band that's current or a classic band, listen, there's a feel. There's just a feel that is not there. It's just not there with AI. And that's because it's just replicating. Now, as artists, we're doing the same thing. I can't tell you how many cover songs I've learned over the years. They're in my head. So I'm pulling from that as well. So there's comparison people don't talk about a lot, but the excitement is it's a new tool. Mm-hmm. And it's fun to mess with and have fun. Now I use it as something to put together birthday songs or special occasion songs, not to put out in public, but just fun, like making memes. Right. People have been doing forever. But it's I mean, I thought to myself, okay, how could I use this as an artist? I write a lot of piano music. So I went, okay. So I took a couple of pieces that I've written that are new, which I've got 30, 40 at any given time building. And I put a couple in there and I just said, I prompted it for the style and said, hey, add violins, cellos, strings, oboes, French horn, whatever, just, and then maybe a style, whatever. And I've probably tried 200, 300 versions of that and get some really cool stuff. I mean, it replicates my piano almost note for note. And it puts those things in there, but it's not like listening to a John Williams song, or numerous other artists these days. So concern that it's going to make music a commodity, kind of already has a little bit. Excitement, it's a new tool, and who knows where it's going, and who knows how we can use it to become better songwriters.
I believe it takes away too from back 20 years ago when songwriters were at their desk, or pen and paper, writing down a lyric or lyrics and a beat, or and now you just go to AI and typing this in and presto. I use it often because I forget how I'm going to word something. How can I encourage someone today using some Bible verse? And it gives me some really good prompts, which it helps immensely. But back in the old days, you just kind of go pen and paper and just a thought comes to your head and you're coming up with a song or a lyric or to help a beat or whatever. So that's how I've kind of seen it change over the years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because there's something to be said. And the thing is, I'm not going to knock artists for doing what they do. If I hear something and I like it, then I like it. I mean, one of my favorite bands right now is a band called Darwin. And if you have people out there haven't heard him, the drummer is Simon Phillips, who's played with Toto and you name it, who he's played with. And then the bassist is a female artist. She's awesome, Mohini Day. And they're laying down stuff. Now, mind you, some of it is a little bit more intricate than I, like Dream Theater. It was a lot of notes, right? And that's cool.
Mhm.
There's a time and place for all that. But yeah, being an artist, sitting down and real quick example, everyone has a different process. Megan Story and I, we're collaborators.
Yep.
So we met at an award show, and how we write is simple. I sit down to the grand piano and I write piano songs, and then I record them on my phone on an app. Nothing fancy, just sounds loud and raw and noisy. I send them, we have a Google file, put them in the Google file. She'll go in there and listen to ones, and when one inspires her, she'll take it and she'll write words to it. She'll put it in her DAW, which is another tool. It's like but DAW is a new tool, digital audio workstation, recording studio in your laptop. She'll go into there and she'll sing vocals, what she wrote to that, send it back to me. I listen to it. If I have any comments, great. If not, then we get together. We rehearse it, so we make sure that we got it dialed in. I record the piano part, send it to the studio. She goes in, she records the vocals, we mix it, we done. There was a lot that went into one song, and a lot of artists do it similar and some do differently. But either way, there's a lot of work and effort, sometimes tears and passion and emotion that go into that.
Mhm.
But here's the thing. Did anyone, am I stealing, like trying to take, a Bon Jovi, lick or a riff and make it into a song? No, but I've played a lot of those songs, in Boston and the Eagles and Chicago, and down the line, Maroon 5, but I'm not going into my brain going access Maroon 5 folder 6, access Chicago 15 player. I'm not doing that, but they're in my head. They're things that help create and move around.
Mhm.
So AI obviously is a whole nother degree of that. But if any musicians out there say that if there's not some semblance of similarity, we do what we do on our instruments based on things that we've learned, played, and been taught.
And you mentioned earlier the industry has kind of shifted from the art to algorithm. You believe in that? That's not going away anytime soon, I believe, is it?
No, doors, all that stuff, doors open. I just I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I'm obviously also not an artist out there. I chose to have a career job in sales, which is challenging as it is. I want to choose what I want to do, but the algorithms, I see people. I had a conversation with somebody recently, said, "Oh my God, it took a lot of time, but I found someone taught me how to get more people liking my stuff by just putting a star or an A or something on their thing." And I'm just like, I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? The thing is if I put something out and you like it, then you're gonna, and you really like it, you're gonna be a fan. You're gonna follow what I do. You can do whatever. But on the other hand of that, I don't want to sound like I don't know everything. But there's millions of people putting out music. They had to come up with there had to be something, because can you imagine getting on social media, waking up in the morning and opening it up to 1 million messages? So yeah, those algorithm things, I'm sure they'll change, but they're here to stay.
I come across often, on TikTok, you monetize, this or that. And, I thought about it many times, about monetizing what I do. I'm like, you know what? My goal has always been from day one, if I can encourage somebody somewhere, the likes will come, but I try to be heart-to-heart, face-to-face conversations. This year, now I'm doing, face-to-face conversations with the video now. But I love hearing people's stories of what they've been through and gone through. I can't monetize that. That's not that to me, that makes it too all about the money. I want heart-to-heart conversations, and where the Lord leads, where he leads. But this is where I've kind of felt my passion is encouraging people.
Yeah, no, it's great. That's probably why you and I, connected so well, and always have, and stayed in touch and whatever, because we have a similar, similar thing, make a difference, connecting with people, wanting to hear story. The thing is, if there's you didn't ask me this question, but if there's anybody out there, right this moment, who really wants to be inspired in life. Now, I know we're talking about music today, but just inspired about life, to kind of look at things differently. Actually, and this is there is no right or wrong in this. This movie is absolutely spot on. It's a movie. So I mentioned earlier, Soul. And even though it's a movie about a musician, him following his dreams, what you find out is, without me giving away what happens, is life is, no matter what your passion is, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
And you froze for a second, and my screen to stop for a second. But I heard Soul.
The movie Soul.
Talk about the movie Soul.
Yeah,
right?
it really illustrates and puts forth the message of it being about the journey and not the destination. And I know there's guys like Tony Robbins out there and Stephen Covey and Deepak Chopra and Walt Disney and Hallmark that put out all these things, but it is 100%. I'll be 59 in March, and I wish someone would have bound this in my head a long time ago. You got to enjoy all the steps along the way. As a musician, the ultimate goal, right, is the Grammy, or which is all about, talented people, but it's all about politics. I've been voting on the Grammy since 96. It's a political campaign, for musicians, and it just is what it is. But I got a record deal about three years ago, and it's a behind the scenes record deal with two major people, and one of them is the son of the biggest music mogul to ever be in the music industry. And part of the deal was it's a straightforward deal. I haven't really made any money from it because the timing, right after I signed it, things changed. But the reason it didn't frustrate me is because it was just another step in the process of people who believed in me and were willing to stick their neck out for me, like I was for them in the partnership. I finally got a record deal from two big people. One, like I said, of the kid of one of the biggest music moguls in history, inarguably. And I've always not to be mysterious or sneaky or whatever. I promised them that I would not mention the record label or who they are, because both of them, especially the producer who initially initiated it, said they will get bludgeoned by people that know them. And anyway, so it's today it's another step. I enjoy this. I enjoy talking to you. You actually give a damn. So yeah, go see Soul. Go watch it if you can get it for cheap. Probably $5.99 on Amazon, and it'll change your life.
Looking back on your career, what are some lessons in music that have taught you about life?
The biggest one, simple. You get what you put into it. Mm-hmm. There's other lessons too, but it all comes down to you get what you put into it. The more you practice, the better you're going to get. The more you go out and actually step in a club and support one of your fellow musicians, the more chance you have of them doing that for your shows. So what you get in life, and we all have things that happen to us, deaths, financial challenges. Every single person on this planet deals with something different, and so at the end of the day, they're just excuses. It doesn't mean they're not sad or bad or messed up. Deal with them, and if someone can help, if I can help, let me know. But at the end of the day, you have choices to make, and what you put into everything is what you get out of everything. That's what I've learned.
You've had a chance to mentor and collaborate with a lot of people. When someone reaches out to you, say, Raymond, can you mentor me in this and this? What's that like to you inside going, they would reach out to you and ask for help or advice or fill in the blank. What's that mean to you of all the years you've gone and been in music that someone asks you for help? How cool is that?
It's really cool and kind of unbelievable. Because it's, we all have people who say things about us, and they're some of the stuff I've heard about me is so unfounded. It's just crazy. And the people who say those things, I don't get mad at, because some of those people, I know what they've dealt with in life, and if it makes them feel better to do that, whatever. But the people who I know who are my friends, who I work with, and I've consistently showed the exact same integrity and passion for what I do. That's what drives me. And so when I'm asked, a lot of times I'm not asked to be mentored. They don't say, "Hey, will you mentor me?" They ask me a lot of questions, and then I find out later they tell me I'm their mentor. And I mean, I've got two people right now. One is someone who I collaborate with, and she tells me all the time that I'm a great mentor and that she listens to every word I say. And the other one is a guy who has been nominated to the Grammys numerous times, and he always calls me his mentor. And I asked him one time, I was like, I was kind of at a loss. I'm like, why? I said, why am I so how can I be your mentor? I've never been nominated for a Grammy. And he said, no, he said, because you know as well as I do that not everything is as it seems. He said, and you never ask for anything. You give what you know. And the key, not part of what you ask, but the key to, I think, mentoring anybody is making sure that you remind them at all times it's just your opinion based on the experiences you've had.
Yep.
It could be, there's no right or wrong way to do anything. It's just some things, yeah. If you're getting hired for a gig and you're gonna get flown across the country, get a contract. Yeah, of course, there's no gray area there, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's a cool feeling.
You mentioned opinions. What's it like collaborating? Everybody has different opinions. I know you, Benji Funnick, and Jessica have done some stuff, and you've collaborated with a lot of artists. What's it like when you're collaborating, trying to be on the same page and make something really come together?
It's awesome. There's no feeling better. I can't talk about it today because I've made a decision. I've been being asked by a lot of different bands to, not a lot, a handful, about 6, to be keyboard player for them. And I just haven't been, it hasn't sit. And then all of a sudden I just got an offer like yesterday, last night, by a group. And it all ties back to collaboration, because there's some artists out there who don't understand collaboration, but collaboration has been around forever. I mean, Michael Jackson, when he put out Thriller, you know who most of the musicians on that album were? The guys from Toto.
Wow.
I mean, and there's hundreds and thousands of stories like that. Collaboration is everything. It just, you're learning from one another. It doesn't mean you're going to steal their style. It just means that you can teach each other. Maybe, oh, that's a cool way to play that F7, or I never thought about voicing it that way. Or, oh, wow, yeah, the Rhodes does sound better than the piano. I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. The key is making sure you're collaborating. Collaboration requires communication and being open-minded.
Yep.
And even then, walking in and talking about it. I got hired to do a session with the guys in Vanilla at Pacific Studios on this last Monday, and they told me they were wanting B3 organ and maybe some piano. And then they sent me the track so I could listen to it on the car on the way there. And so I came in, I said, okay, what are you looking for? They told me, so we did it. And then I said, hey, I heard some other ideas. Is that cool if I show you those? And like, absolutely. So it's just, as long as not everyone can collaborate. There's a fair amount of people out there who are like, no, my way or the highway. And that's okay. Look at Prince.
Yeah.
Not saying Prince didn't collaborate, but I mean, so yeah, it's you're learning constantly, man. Always.
One of the songs you and Jessica sang, which I think she sang and you played the piano, was Bold. And have you ever written or played a song specifically to encourage someone who's going through a hard season? You did some really good instrumental bits I really enjoy. I can close my eyes and like, that's kind of peaceful for me. I like stuff
Thank
like
you.
that.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I put out so much music. I mean, I have a playlist on Spotify, and it's over 4 hours long, and that's just the instrumental stuff. So trying to think, okay, well, kind of. This is going to sound super. It's more personal. So when all the stuff was going on during COVID and again, everyone was, mask, no mask, COVID's real, COVID's not real, all that stuff. I could just feel this weight. I was sitting out back, we have a fireplace that is indoor, outdoor, and I just could feel this weight on my shoulders. And I went in, and so I wrote the song. I'm not trying to sound like John Lennon here. No comparison, because that guy's a mastermind. But I went in, I wrote the song for everybody out there, and it's called The Weight of the World. And then my good buddy and artist that I admire greatly, Chris Jones, heard it one night when him and his wife were hanging out with us, and he wrote another verse, and so did a co-write on that. And that was a song that we didn't write for one person, but for a lot of people. And then the only other one that I can think of that jumps to mind is a song called All I Want, which Regan Lane from Strangely All Right and Soda Tucker Jesus produced. But it's called All I Want, and it was written for a guy named Stefan, who was a huge music supporter who died of cancer. And right before he passed away, it was written, produced, so he could hear it live on the radio station, on the air. And that was written for him, knowing that he was going to pass, but knowing that the legacy of how he supported other artists would live on.
Any new projects or songs you're working on? Do you like? Are you that you have out? You like to share, or some things in the future you might want to present to us? If not, that's fine as well.
Yeah, I have a new band that I'm probably going to be joining, and that will, I'm sure, come out soon, but too soon right now. And then, I have collaborations. I have a music collaboration going on with Sean Van Domelen, played guitar for Strangely All Right and Sleepy Pilot. Because I just did one of his songs. I have one coming out with George Varghese, Grammy-nominated musician, producer. Guy named Tony Das, who's over in Bangalore, India. And then, of course, Megan Story, my little sis. We have a song that we've got we got 3 that are ready, but we just wrote one, and we're going to work on it this coming week. And then hopefully in the next couple of weeks, get out and put it out.
I'll be reaching out to her. Maybe I'll try and get her and you on together and kind of share some of those stories in the upcoming months. And I've had her on. She has a tremendous story, what she's gone through and been through. And I love her just testimony of life. And I know you guys I think she said something about you adopted her or something like that, or something.
Yeah. No, I connected with her at the music at Kevin Enlow's, Washington State Independent Music Awards a couple of years ago. And we chatted for like 2 hours, and I was like, wow, there's so much connection. And we started writing. We were just going to write one song, ended up being more. And then because I was constantly being no, and mentoring her. She's one of the people that call me her mentor. And I'm not shaking my head because it's bad. It's just, it's a lot to teach, and she's hungry and works hard. And then one night I was just like, I'm adopting you. You're my little sister. And I told her, I said, it's real. It's real. I mean, look at me like your big brother. I'm not telling you things to hear myself talk. I'm telling you because you need to hear them now, not tomorrow.
A lot of musicians get down too. It's maybe a song doesn't hit, or they're not getting the likes or the views or whatever. What are some words of encouragement as we wrap up that you can give a musician, maybe who's been around for a few years, maybe someone who's been just starting out, that can encourage them, to help them, a little spark in them, say, you know what, keep going, keep pushing. There'll be setbacks. You'll fall down. Just keep going. If that's your passion in music.
Sure. Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. What a great way to end the interview. So the reality is, speaking out to new musicians coming up, at any level, all the way up to the veterans who are my age or older, right? The world's changing, but it's always changing. There's, we went from, no recorded music to vinyls, to 8-tracks, to cassette tapes, to MP3s, back to vinyl, back to cassette, and then more MP3s and Spotify and streaming and whatever. So there's a lot of the stuff out there. And if you allow that to distract you from something that you have done for yourself and for those around you, which is, be an artist, or whatever it is you do for passion, that's no one else's fault but your own. And I'm not saying that as a shame on you. I'm saying that as just take a step back, take a breath, feel the frustration. Yeah, exactly. Who's Fraba, like Jack Nicholson said, right? Feel the pain. And some people say no, but don't bury it, because if you feel it, yeah, you might have a really messed up night or two, but feel it, allow that frustration to come out, and then use that gift that you've been given by God or the universe, or and the work you've put into it, and realize that you have something to communicate to people and affect people in ways. And I've discovered over the years, and this is for you out there that Jody asked me this question, is I promise you more people hear and see what you're doing than you can possibly imagine. That's how I got a record deal. If you just allow yourself to not ignore it, check it out, be frustrated, whatever, but just continue to do what you do, use some of the new tools or not, but just be yourself. Because if you try to be like Bryan Adams, or you try to be like Billie Eilish, great artists, fantastic, but they're already there. Just be yourself, and I promise you that you will have way more success than you could ever dream, because it will come out in ways that will connect, like Nirvana. You have Nirvana and Queen and everything in between. Nirvana connected with people at the time who were there was a lot of angst, and Queen connected to people because there was, people wanted to be entertained, and there was a lot of other things. And so just be yourself. Know that there's a lot of change out there, but remember why you started doing what you're doing now, and allow that to be the fuel in your engine.
Remember your why. Very, very key. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Nice seeing you face to face. One day we'll have coffee in person. I talked to you over the phone a few times, through text, but seeing you face to face is awesome. I wish you and Jessica nothing but the best. I'd love to get her on again this year, and just share about musicians and let's have conversations. I mean, just when you meet somebody, just say, just hit them off really well and have a great hearts for each other. It's just a lot of fun talking with you. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on, and everyone out there, share all of his socials and YouTubes and all that. I promise you, it's really heartwarming to see his messages every day.
Thanks so much, man. Take care of yourself.
Peace.
I am so honored to be featuring a song by Cory M. Coons. Cory is a talented singer-songwriter from Canada, as I mentioned earlier, whose heartfelt lyrics blend a rich, soulful sound. It draws from diverse musical influences that he has crafted a unique style. With a career spanning several years, and storytelling shines in each track he creates. Known for his powerful vocals and engaging melodies, Cory's music offers listeners an authentic, down-to-earth experience. Whether it's a reflective ballad or upbeat anthem, his songs connect with the soul and tell stories of personal journeys and experiences. Pretty cool. To discover more about Cory's music, check out CoryMCoons.com and see his many albums and songs there. Today, I am playing his song, Memphis Whiskey Blues, here on Chit and Chat.
I got the Memphis Whiskey Blues. I don't know what to do. I got the Memphis Whiskey Blues, and I don't know what to do. But don't you let them fool you one time, or they'll come calling on you. Sitting by the tracks with my good buddy Jack. Said I'm just sitting by the tracks, sipping sweet sour mash. I hear old number 7 coming, got the wind in my back. Whiskey Blues. Know what I got to do. Still got the Memphis Whiskey Blues. Know what I got to do. Now, baby, in the meantime, don't you go spreading bad news.
Thank you so much for joining today. Had a great time talking to Raymond Hayden and just catching up. It's been a while. And thank you to Cory M. Coons for allowing us to play his music here on the podcast. And each episode, a lot of work goes behind the scenes, editing this, fixing it, piecing it together, making it run well. Thank you to Paul and Keegan and Racey for their extraordinary work behind the scenes, making this podcast possible. And to everyone listening out there, if you're chasing a dream, navigating a change, or feeling unsure about the future, let this be a reminder that you don't have to have it all figured out. Just keep moving forward. Growth often happens simply by staying faithful to what you love and what you're called to do. Thanks again. This is Chit and Chat, the Encouraging One, another podcast was always about encouraging others. See you next time.